The League One was pretty good because at the final match they were able to dominate over DRS as well when it came down to the
right? $4,000 right there. Wow, what a play. And of course, it was all based on them getting that chicken dinner. But along with that, the kill point is going to be that much more crucial as well as these teams move on from. Exactly. I mean, they're certainly on a high right now based on the momentum that they're continuing on from the league plays itself. Week 2, of course, is what I'm mentioning right here. But in that, we are, of course, left to speculate as to what can we anticipate from this team when it comes down to this Super Weekend, the second Super Weekend for PNPL Season 4. On the other front, talk about a team that has been doing really good when it came down to the league plays. It is going to be Wizards with Vibes. I mean, this team has come back with a storm. I mean, when the journey started off, we were looking at this team as a newcomer. But the stats, well, they clearly speak for themselves.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Wizards with Vibes, I'm still going to wait to see what their Super Weekend performance looks like because they did well in League Play 1 as well. Look at that. Their average points went down a little, but still, it was a good performance for the 8 matches they played in the League Play. But the Super Weekend 1 is where we saw Wizards with Vibes struggle quite a lot, so I hope that is going to be fixed.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? The League One, I would just call it League One. The League One was pretty good because at the final match they were able to dominate over DRS as well when it came down to the overall points. The Super Weekend one was quite an ups and downs affair because they thought they were having good matches, they thought they were having good rotations, but at the end, the one thing that they were faltering down surprisingly was in fights. I mean, in League 1 they were taking amazing fights, and now in League 2 as well, they are taking amazing fights. So I would love to see that if they just keep on going with that, or they falter down, because I would not want this team to falter down. The way Delta has been playing, the way Rules has been playing, these players are delivering right now.
Exactly. I mean, the momentum, Wizards Vibes, what they need to figure out is how to carry forward the momentum that they build for themselves. And they do it so nicely, right? How to carry that momentum from the league play to the Super Weekend. Because you see that dip, that was where it all mattered. Those are the points that are counted for the overall standings. The first 8 games where they did really well, it was fine, but then the second day onwards of the league of the first Super Weekend is where we see them struggle, and that's not what I want. I want Wizards Vibes to be competing for the top because that's what they do during the league play, right?
Indeed, and that's going to be so very crucial, as so perfectly mentioned by Varun. When it comes down to the league play days, it is basically just for you to qualify. And then when it matters, it is, of course, the Super Weekends, the 3-day affair. That is where all the teams bring in the best of the best track. And that is something that hopefully Wizards with Vibes this time around for the second Super Weekend are going to be well equipped and prepped. On the other front, talking about a new team that's joining the fray, it's going to be R3D, a team that is going to be starting from scratch. Ocean.
Yeah, and talking about R3D, right? If you talk about the way they have been playing League Week 1 versus League Week 2, if we look at the 8-match stats, so if we just compare it, it's kind of weird in one thing. They did dish out a lot of damage, but they also took a lot of damage on themselves. That is the reason that they could not get in for the good fights. Right now, where it all mattered, they dish out good damage, but they heal less, and that's why they have an average of 1.1 versus 1. Let's take it 1 kill to 2 kills. They are just doubling their numbers, and that actually helps in from 2.9 points of an average to 3.8, almost 4 points of an average. That was good for the team. It helped them qualify. Now they're in for the big show.
Exactly. I mean, the big show is going to require a lot more, because with a 4-point per match average, you are only going to be able to go far enough. You might just make it into the top 16 and make it to the finals, but the goal for R3D, I mean, for any team that's competing in this lobby, is to try and see if they can compete for the crown, the throne, the first position. But R3D, I mean, they have a young player with them as well, and I mean, I would say we are seeing this team adapt quite a lot, because as Ocean mentioned as well, they have cut down the number of heals that they have to put on, because they were avoiding those fights in the second week as well. The only time we see them go down is when they were caught off guard in the middle of their rotations, which happened quite a lot. But let's see. I mean, R3D, I believe they have something special planned out for us throughout the day, and I want to watch what it is.
Look at their in their first league. Look at their second game, 4th game, 5th game, and then 6, 7, 8 game. They were quite stagnant at just one place for themselves. But right now they were moving around. If you look at this, not a really big peak as it started for them in the first game, but this
is incredibly
timing as well. Just a beautiful bird takes to the sky for the first time in this super weekend. We are flying over Erangel, but I wonder where we are going to be flying to. Play. What's our flight path?
Let's find out. Taking a look, it's going to be starting right over Quarry. There we go. And it's going to be cutting across the channel separating the military base and the main island. It's going to be towards Novo Repnoi. Now, a couple of teams who did sit out the first super weekend will make their debut here in the second super weekend. Of course, Venom Legends, as I just alluded to, they did have a bit of a pop-off performance on the second day. 7Cs are here. R3D qualifying as well. Seal 9, High Voltage, and Paradox. Unfortunately, they're going to be sitting this one out, XP. But P and crew, man, like their woes continue. Second super weekend that they will have to be sitting back at home and watching and not being in the server.
Now that is definitely going to hurt just a little bit more, because as you have a look, we do have the overall rankings. Mind you, the super weekend points are going to be consistent throughout the tournament, so you have to make it if you want to get something out of it. Now, all the teams are going to be jumping off to their favorite drop spots, and you did mention P and crew, man, they need to do something. They need to have a complete 360, so to speak, because something is not definitely working out in that camp. Now, as far as the teams sitting out are concerned, I'm surprised Seal 9 didn't make the cut this time, Blay, because we do know them from last season, and boy, were they dominant right from the beginning. But it is what it is, and now we do have 16 teams that are going to be fighting one another over the next 3 days. And if you have a look at the circle, it is kind of exciting. A lot more water this time, but it is going to be up to the north, and well, we're going to have a mad scramble for those hills sooner or later.
Yeah, I think this might be the third or fourth time we're seeing a circle of this nature where it's up way up north. And I gotta say, whenever a circle has winded up being towards Severny or up there, it has led to some very interesting games. So I do look forward to seeing how this particular first game plays out. Of course, Super Weekend being, we're going to be seeing all three maps in rotation. We'll have Raul really want to take the fight to Bubble very early on. This is fascinating. And it's a 4-man squad in that vehicle, and they're going to get the first knock into Pika. They're just hunting them down, XP. I absolutely love this.
Beautiful timing as well. Just as the two bikers kind of just went off on their own little path, they were unfortunately met with the boys from Raw trying to drive around, create some hell. But now 420 boy is going to open up on one of the members. He does get Zibian. In fact, it's not Zibian. That's a late kill. He does get Sada. Sada gets taken down. And Sean and blah 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 are going to have to go up against the opposition. Now a Molotov is going to be thrown on. Remember, he doesn't really have anything on him. He doesn't have a helmet. He doesn't have a vest, nor do his teammates. So now the three members of Raw could be a thorn on the side. But looks like Bubbly is going to be the one who goes on the right flank, gets a couple of knocks in, if I'm not wrong, and Bishal is going to be standing on a sliver of HP in the house. And how the tables have turned.
It's been flipped on its head. They've taken a table, XP, and they are going to be ramming it straight onto RAW. And that is, that's got to be tasty. That has to be tasty for RAW. You're like, yeah, you come at us, you best not miss. And unfortunately for the side of RAW, I loved how they were so aggressive there, XP, but then Joker's like, well, that didn't quite go according to plan. He's going to yeet it. But another team hearing all the commotion and the knocks, the Hyenas have come to pick off the remaining survivors. XP.
And they're going.
And Godless, they're going to find 420 boy, and that is going to be Bubble. He's getting eliminated in the first 4 minutes of the game. And bear in mind, RAW just have 1 member remaining. It is going to be Joker, who at this point in time is probably plugging in some Iron Maiden and just playing Run to the Hills. And right now, the hills are kind of far away. He's going to try and be a bit of a snaky snake in the grass. And he's going to avoid Zeus Esports, who are like, well, they just get a couple of free kills. They're going to be very happy with that.
Oh yeah, smart play on their part and smart play on Joker's part to make sure, you don't want to fight when it's not necessary. Have a look at this. Zeus Godless opening up with that M4, getting 420 boy, and well, both goes down as well. 2 quick knocks. Again, we just talked about how the tables were flipped, and looks like it was another flipperoo coming in, because this is awesome. I love this chaos. I love the fact that, we see action this early on. And talking about Zeus, now, let me tell you something interesting. The moment they heard all that commotion, they all, like a few meerkats, kind of peek their heads over that hill overlooking the hospital. Blay, one thing stood out. I think one of the members, I do believe it was Ziol, or was it Abley? Oh, it was Icy Darby. He had an Uzi in his hands. Now let just listen to this. He had an Uzi in his hands with just 10, I repeat, 10 bullets in. No vest, no helmet, no nothing, but they still were hungry for the kills. And, well, they got a couple of them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Zeus. That's a Zeus I've been waiting for all this while.
yeah.
That's a Zeus I've been waiting for so
Hey,
very
I gotta
long.
ask you a question. Do you think Ocean has had a little talk with them pre-game? Does he know something we don't?
Maybe.
Is it
Listen,
a
listen.
preemptive thing?
Listen, Ocean's so full of himself that he doesn't call his predictions. He called it as what does he call it again?
I haven't really paid attention.
No.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
predictions. He says it's not even a premonition. Spoilers. That's what he says. He says these
Oh.
are spoilers whenever he picks a team. And you know what? At this point, I have to agree with him. The guy is not only can he predict the zones with scary precision, but he seems to have an uncanny knack of picking the teams who tends to perform quite well. So yeah. Ocean getting everything right, and I'm sure he's got a bit of a cheeky grin on his face right now watching this game. Looking at the zone, though, it's been, like you said, it's been a mad dash. We've seen a couple of teams already fall by the wayside, but T2K have so far found themselves in Severny comparatively unscathed. They're not taking a single point of damage. So they're going to be in a good spot to play out the later stages of this map.
Well, in a good spot right now, and what they should be doing is making sure they don't leave anything unturned in the city, because sooner or later, as we've seen in the past, it is going to be pretty much a bloodbath up in Severny and all the adjoining cliffs, especially at the beachfront. Again, one of those places where people are really interested in making their last stand. But again, it's too early to tell where the circle is going to go, because well, like a couple of my exes, they seem to have a mind of its own, and it does whatever it wants. So, it kind of throws those curveballs in every now and then. And, you can have a plan. You can kind of anticipate what it's going to do next. But I love the fact that, all right, Membo's just making sure he punches out all the wall. Because, again, if bullets are going to be flying, you don't want that shrapnel and all that glass hitting you, Blay.
True. Glass can be quite...
It cuts deep.
It cuts deep. Oh my god, it just reminded me of an incident. So I was watching, we have a bit of lull in the action. I was watching the show everyone's talking about on Netflix, Squid Game. And without any spoilers, let's just say that...
I have no idea what it's about, so
well,
tread it carefully.
think of it as kind of like, it's almost like a battle royale, but not really battle royale. It's like a game where people die.
Is there
and-
water?
There's no water, but there is a point where a shard of glass plays a big role in a very tragic fashion, and it just reminded me of that, XP. So thanks, I'm sad again.
Well, now the moment I do watch that show and the moment I see any kind of glass breaking, my fun is ruined, because I know what's going to happen. But again, all jokes aside, that was actually kind of fun. I actually might check it out. But, since you said Squid, I was expecting a little bit of H2O, but I guess it's all in the name. And now, Baron, with a weapon that I'm quite familiar with and quite fond of. It is the Mosin Nagant. And he is going to try and see if he can spot some enemies in the distance. I love the fact that, we have guns from all eras in this game, right? Like, initially, Blay, we had the Car 98, of course, reminiscent of World War II, the German prowess. But then in comes the Mosin Nagant, Russian-made precision
instead of
weapons.
the Dragunov, which is a curious
Ooh,
pick.
that came later on. It came
later on, right?
yeah.
It's one of the
70s, 80s.
it's one of the classics of. No, true. Of course, it did come later on, but it's kind of like
Also-
one of the classics of Russian weaponry. Like when you go back to the late 90s, late 90s is when we started having more
It's the
FPS games,
iconic
right?
one. Yep.
And
Oh,
that's when the Dragunov
It was everywhere.
It was like the mainstay. In any game, you would have a Dragunov sniper rifle.
Do you want to know a random fun fact about the Dragunov?
Absolutely, hit me.
In the Kargil War, it was the official sniper in the Indian Army. I just saying that because one of my cousins actually served, and he was one of the snipers. Just say.
That's an interesting fact. I was not aware of that. Obviously, Russia and India having quite a close relationship when it comes to military weapons trading and agreements and all of that. But let's not get into social-political issues about weapons and whatnot. We're talking about PubG Mobile. It's all fun and games in the server, except if you get knocked out early on. I8 and Stalwart Esports are going to be as usual, traversing through the blue, trying to find a way to safety. But I do worry for them because of the... sure, we've lost one team and RAW down to a one-man squad.
Right.
However, there are a lot of teams still alive, and look at... It's a kaleidoscope of teams, of colors right there on the northern side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. And Stalwart and I8, they will be making their way into the zone. But look at the entry points, XP. It's right
It's
at the
same.
edge of the water, so it's not going to be that easy.
Also, Blay, have you realized that either team, I8 and Stalwart, as we had up on our screens moments ago, they've never had any problems traversing from the military island. We haven't really seen any blockades set up early on. And that is something that is unprecedented. But right now, Deadeye's guys are going to be making sure they have that little shack and that flat top little terrain for cover. As T2KCO is going to be the only man in the city. His teammates have moved on. A couple of them have come onto this hill where you see Legend. And one of their members is going to be back by the beach. Again, I did kind of say that, they are going to anticipate that the circle is going to be going further up north. And they're already making the necessary arrangement. But right now, looks like a fight from before shall continue if only Icy spots the man down below. He is going to be laughing at him. Is he going to be laughing any longer? Because the Joker is going to have to come out for air at some time. And wait a second, that is not where you take a Tesla.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
He's going for the kill.
He's going for the kill. He's going to use the vehicle for some foothold. And has he seen him, though? That's the question. I love the bloodlust that Zeus possesses. They're like, oh, one kill. Most teams will be like, yeah, it's not worth it. We can, try and scout out what's happening. And these guys are like, there's one guy in the water. Wait, I'm going to drive this car into the water, irretrievable, but I will get that kill. And can you imagine how much it has to suck if you're Joker? You first get attacked by Team Bubblue, you manage to pull off an incredible upset by taking 3 members down, and then you lose your teammates to Zeus. You run for about 10 minutes, and then finally, you are surrounded on all sides by the Mongolians, and you will bid us goodbye. Valiant attempt from Joker to stay alive for as long as it did, but when you got these guys hounding you, and you're all alone, XP, it was never going to be easy.
One thing that worked for Joker was that the fact that he was, lurking in the water, he should have been glad that the water was actually murky, because looks like the member from Zeus didn't see him. I thought he almost would have got a glimpse of him moving around when we did see that POV, but it is what it is. And RAW, like you mentioned, did get a couple of kills, but they are going to be bidding us due in the 15th position. And there we have it, another piece of action breaking out. Nima getting taken off his buggy, courtesy of Seyog, and instantly he's going to put him 6 feet under. Elsewhere, we are going to be at the site of the crashed plane, where we have a little bit of a face-off going on against, it's going to be the Vibes taking on, I do believe, A1 Esports. And right now, no one is making...
Yeah, a bit of lull before all hell breaks loose. Stalwart and I8 have somehow managed to avoid the danger in the form of 7C and Seal Esports, respectively. But now looking in the zone, XP, T2K is still going to be pretty happy, but from the western front, there are those Mongolians coming in, it's almost like an unstoppable object. But what happens when an unstoppable object in the form of Zeus meets an immovable object, that is T2K? I'll tell you what happens. Sparks fly, and we get some exciting action. That's what's going to happen. But I do love how the circle is still, there's a bit of coastline still in the zone. So my hopes, my dreams of potentially having a beach final circle, it's still alive, XP. That makes me happy.
It is still alive, but I do kind of feel it's going to be coming down a bit south of Severny, maybe over the overlooking hills, and where we have a couple of compounds, especially where Venom Legends are now. I don't know why. I have a feeling it's going to be closing in on their location, as another airdrop is going to be falling down again in the water this time. So that means the MG3 is not going to be picked up, and well, the Mark 14 is also going to go unanswered. But again, when you have other weapons and everything is locked and loaded, it's not really going to be a problem. Now, we are going to have that situation come up in the game when, we are going to have a little bit of a lull in the action, because everyone wants to hunker down on their location. They want to make sure they fortify it. Right now, Aline is going to spot A1 in the distance, just over the bunker, overlooking shooting range. Lays down a couple of shots. In fact, they do connect as well, but all it's going to do is tickle them on their sides and just tease them a bit. Elsewhere, Seal Esports are now moving in on Vibes' location.
This isn't exactly a very comfortable spot for Seal, right? Because they are downhill. But what could work out for them is the fact that I8 have spotted out Vibes on the top of the hill. That's a problem with being on top of the hill, XP. When you're there, you're like, yeah, we got cover and everything. But you are silhouetted against the horizon, right? And
yes, sir.
In the distance, you can take advantage of the render distance to, basically snipe them away. It's going to be sitting ducks for I8. But so far, no one really making a move yet, because both these teams, all 3 teams, in fact, have the zone. Seal on the periphery, so is I8. In the meantime, A1 going up against Zeus Esports, and that is going to be the first knock in that particular fight going the way of the Bangladeshi side.
Mind you, those knocks are coming in at a distance of about 250 meters, so not immediate danger for Zeus Esports over here, but the fact that they have been caught out and one of them is down puts them on the defensive, as well as giving their position away. Well, as well as using a few of those utilities. You want to make sure you pop them smoke grenades to conceal your position. So good job as far as A1 Esports are concerned. And have a look at that. You know, they were on top of the mountain near the crashed bird just moments ago, but they realized, you know what? We are going to have a few teams vying for the king of the hill. Like you did mention, when you're at the top, you are going to be silhouetted against the background as another MG3 is going to fall down, this time on solid ground, which means somebody could actually pick it up, and looks like 7Cs are going to be the first ones
shooting
to
range.
that drop. Now, there you have it. We have a little bit of a shift coming due west. So forget the beachfront action. We've seen plenty of that. Now it's going to be all down at the range and the surrounding hills. And I wonder if A1 Esports are kind of upset about the fact that they left that prime position. However, you know, it's going to work out if they can actually move in from the periphery and start mowing them down one by one. Oh, okay.
All right. R3D coming under heavy fire from Zeus. Icy looking to confirm that kill under Joker. This is this is a messy fight. Joker, UMP up close. Up close could really work out, but he's been spotted out. Oh, he's been just spotted out. And should be finished out very quickly here by Icy. And because of the smokes. Oh, they have spotted him out though. Oh, but a little bit of ridge providing him that much needed cover. So yeah, Zeus do come out on that on top of that little skirmish. However, R3D are getting harassed by another team. I do believe that's Seal, if I'm not mistaken, but that finally that battle has broken out. XP Vibes are gonna actually just eliminate Seal. Okay, that just happened. And Vibes now taking the fight against Future Station. Jiggle drops down to his knees though. A very brave play from him, and he will. Well, he's not finished off yet. Yes, he is finished off by Clutch Baba. Nades getting rolled downhill, XP. That res is looking very unlikely. Clutch Baba and Entry have a lot of work to do, but they have to first go past Vibes. They're going to go for a longer route, and Vibes are aware of this. And they're trying to cut off this route of escape. You can see Entry being chased down by Praveen, but he's managed to put some distance between himself and Vibes. So at least for the time being, Future Station will stay alive. For the side of Vibes, though, they don't really have to move much. They will just have to take a couple of steps, and they are in a safe zone. But Entry has just gone from escaping Vibes and heading straight into the compound occupied by Stalwart Esports. That is somewhere you don't want to be, and it's going to be Pika's going to find the knock and the finish. Oh, Entry. Oh, that's just going to suck.
Well, I think in an instance, they're only going to be survived by one man, and that man is Clutch Baba. Now, we know he lives up to his name from time to time, but of course, he doesn't want to go up against Stalwart Esports, especially when they are going to be high on adrenaline after a few kills. Top 2A now throwing a grenade in Deadeye's Guys' direction. It is good. Frag might want to get out of harm's way. Love the fact that he is throwing grenades on either side of the tree. That is going to keep them guessing. Shifu could be blown up. Yes, he does. Frag goes down as well, which means on top is the last man standing. He's going to work that out, and he realizes, you know what? Too many grenades coming in. I'm going to have to get in the vehicle and make a run for it, which is exactly what he does. And you know what? It is the right move in this situation, because have a look at this. Now the crossfire from DE is going to come in, which puts Top on the defensive. Although he isn't knocked out, he still has his teammates around to make sure everything is tickety-boo. Now, Frag is going to be put down, and his kit is going to be looted. Again, I like the fact that, you know, teams are going in for the fights this time.
Yeah, and also looking at the cover, it's not much in the shooting range, unless you're playing inside of the shooting range, right? So it's very gentle, very gentle hills. Speaking of gentle hills, Void is not going to be gentle, and that's a knock going their way. Action down on his knees. The zone is going to be closing in. But yeah, if you look at the slopes around here, it's just, there's not much cover, honestly. It's bits of rock, open plains, a little bit of grass cover. A great place for a picnic, but I don't think anyone's thinking about a picnic right now while everyone's trying to knock each other out. Deadeye's Guys down to a two-man squad. Rated Star has a lot of work to do. Nate's going to be, well, tossed in, and it's going to find Fear, but he still stays alive, but not for long, because On Top is going to be coming from atop and should be finishing off the job. No! Fear somehow gets the knock XP, but finally he will fall, but not before he got the knock. Now, can they get the res in time? That's the question. Is Zeus down to, I believe they're a three-man squad right now. Yes, they are indeed. Icy's been taken down, and they're going to be making a quick move. Zeol is very low on health, and he is driving as well, so it's a bit of a risky ploy, but time is not their friend, and they need to go for the play. Godless is going to be trailing behind his teammates, but it looks like for the time being, he's been able to avoid danger.
I love the fact that they are now going to have this little ditch to work with. Also, a godsend in the form of an airdrop is going to fall right besides them, as Jax is going to be bleeding out. A lot of smoke deployed on A1 Esports' position, as they are pretty much trying to defuse the situation coming in from the shooting range, because, well, they are being peppered by bullets. Now, I8's position is pretty cool as well. They are high up on the mountain, and they don't really have to move down now. In fact, I8 pretty much have the entire face of the mountain in their control, and no one is in position to oppose them as of right now, because everyone else needs to complete their fights on the ground down below. And the only one who does want to give them some problems is R3D. But forget that. Coming right now, we are going to head towards Vibes Assassin, who is going to be deploying smoke grenades frantically, making sure he has enough cover, because they did just wipe out a squad. And, well, you definitely want to go in and loot to your heart's content.
Vibes, though, coming under fire. Venom Legends. First super weekend, and 4 kills, 4 alive. Yeah, this is a different Venom Legends. I love to see this. You love to see this from Venom Legends. Look at them. A raid squad of 4 going separate ways. They do have a zone to work with, but of course danger is still very much present. Ever present. And Vibes, though, they're coming on a heavy fire, and Venom Legends are taking fights against, it looks like, almost every other team. Wizzies with Vibes, though, coming in second or third, I forget, in that group stage. They are gonna make quick work of A1 Esports, who have been eliminated already. It's down to the final 9. 24 still alive, though, and I8 are going up against R3D in the meantime. Now, keep your eyes peeled in the distance. Zeus Esports are making their way slowly but surely towards the Wizzies with Vibes. The problem here for Zeus is, not a problem, they don't really have to budge yet, but if they have to make a move, XP, there is literally no cover. There's absolutely no cover.
Oh yeah, what happened was they were actually attacking A1 Esports, and now they're going to find themselves in the same predicament A1 Esports did. They're out in the open, outside the shooting range. Like you mentioned, there's a big bad wolf on their backs, and that wolf is Zeus Esports, and man, when they dig their fangs in, it really, really hurts. Also, the fact that DRS inside the shooting range are going to be applying pressure could be problematic. But however, it does look like DRS, again, are going to be engaged with the silhouettes on the mountain in the form of Venom Legends, if I'm not wrong, as now they are going to be surrounding the enemy. Have a look at Clutch Baba, still in the game in the final 17, still carrying Future Station's flag high and mighty. Now, that is some amazing prowess over there. He is definitely going to be racking up those placement points, Blake.
Absolutely, but for how long, XP? For how long can he stay alive? Most of these teams have either 4 members alive or 3. If Venom Legends, Wizzies with Vibes, and IA with 4 alive and kicking, Zeus and DRS have lost one member each. That's it. Vibe and Future Station. You pointed out Future Station, Clutch Baba, buys Lonesome. And of course, you have Vibes staying alive with just the 1 member still in the server. That is Assassin. And amongst all the commotion, they could potentially be ignored here. Meanwhile, Wizards with Vibes still going up against I8. I don't know if they're aware of Zeus's position, because they don't.
That's a good one.
Oh, Golden, somehow the flames, he's able to dodge it. I8, in the meantime, able to pick up their fallen member in the form of Crypto. So a bit of a tiny lull in the action. The problem for IA to XP, they need to make a move, or else they're going to be in a bit of a pickle. Speaking of being a bit of a pickle, Venom Legends have been spotted out, and they're pinned down beneath that tree and that car, and DRS is just going to unload on them. 2 down, and Venom Legends went from a 4-man squad to just 2.
To just 2, and talking about I8, wait a second, Rules over here is going to be spotted up by Mafia Ninja, completely oblivious to the fact that someone was still inside the shooting range.
Oh,
so that
DRS.
was a little bit of an issue, as Delta X again tries to run for cover, but with that sliver of HP, it's not going to be enough as he's finally brought down. That means Mullik and Reaperbot now again engulfed in smoke have their work cut out. Their position is concealed for now. Of course, grenades are going to be going off all around as one expects, but AJ is going to be the first in line to pop some heads off the moment Reaperbot shows his face, because look at that, Zeus from afar is lobbing in grenades that Coach would be proud of, getting the job done, and now Reaperbot is taken down, and Mullik in a little bit of luck over here, of course. Like I said, you see smoke, you are going to shoot in it, and well, he did get shot.
Clutch Baba
came up. He gets taken out. Clutch Baba, man. I mean, this guy loves living up to his name. He's going to be chilling in the smoke. And you know what? It was made by the enemy, so the enemy is going to be oblivious that someone's over here. Now, AJ, the only way he can actually find him out is if he runs him over, or if suddenly the smoke dissipates and he's like, hey, wait a minute, you're not from my team. But now, question, Blade. Is Clutch Baba going to do something drastic? Clutch Baba, look to your right.
He's got to take the shot now, right? I mean, he's finally got to. He has to take a shot. He's going to get the kill and the finish as well. And now DRS is probably wondering, what the hell was that? And Clutch Baba finally falls, but staying alive till the final 4 and also getting a final knock and a kill there. It's incredible from Clutch Baba, living up to his name. And now, I8, two-man squad XP, Zeus with 3 still alive. And of course, DRS in a well-fortified position. Unfortunately for DRS, now they have to get out of that compound. And that is going to be problematic. It's a 3v2 v2. The Mongolians versus the Nepalese team, as well as the 2 Pakistanis still in contention.
Hey man, I've been backing Zeus right from day one, even when they were on the slippery side of things. I don't change my allegiances, nor do you actually. We've been kind of
look. Here's the thing.
From the beginning,
I don't think they're the best team. I don't think they're the best team.
But they hit hard, and that's what makes it exciting.
They're fun to watch, man.
Yes,
How can
sir.
you not enjoy watching them, right?
Yes, sir. And quickly talking about enjoyment, I wonder if you noticed what was on one of the shoulders over there. Play, my dear friend, we have an AWM in the game, which has finally been picked up. But the question is it going to be used? Because now's the time when you spot people in the distance and you pretty much blow their brains to smithereen. Now,
You can
I8, they did have a little bit of a problem early on, because I did say, they had the slope of the mountain, but coming down would be problematic. So what they did was went left along the blue lone. They were going to go up against Zeus. In fact, they do so once again. 2 members of Zeus are going to be down. I8 is going to be knocked down on his feet. One man of Zeus was down. He's taken out. Make that 2. Godless is going to bite the dust as well. We're down to the final 2 teams in the blink of an eye. DRS, they bid their time play, made sure Zeus went up against I8, heard the commotion, and picked them off one by one, getting the job done. The real soldiers, once again, starting things off with a chicken dinner.
That was so well played by them, right? Even though Zeus had the one-player advantage, a one-man advantage, they were in a bit of a rough spot. Sandwiched between I8, who were higher up, who had quite a bit of cover, and DRS, who were in that little bit of a trench. And as you pointed out, the moment they spotted one player out, I8, they kind of teamed up together, unintentionally, of course, taking on Zeus, and that they chose their moment to strike. I think they got 12 or 13 kills, if I'm not mistaken. 12 kills. There we go. DRS, 12 kills, chicken dinner. What a way to start off the second Super Weekend. That's just a fantastic showing from the Nepali side.
Man, I love it that, whenever we have winner chicken dinner screen, we just make it rain with all that money. Of course, this team is going to be walking away with that $1,000, and that kind of looked good. But again, the real soldiers, this is something we've kind of come accustomed to. It's pretty much another day of the week for them, but it is another day of the week. It is the first day of the second Super Weekend. 1 game is underway, 4 more in store for you today. But you know what? All that action is going to be on the other side of this little break.
Keeping it real. I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the street? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. And you got a good thing going. You got a good thing going on.
And the virtual studio is back for the second Super Weekend. A huge thanks, of course, to our sponsor, Oppo F9 Pro. But dudes, I mean, that was a crazy game coming in for Zeus Esports, as well as the real soldiers are back in the action.
I mean, what did I say before the match?
Yep. That's true. Yeah.
Also,
I'll tell you. It always happens because whenever XP kidnaps me, he just takes my crystal ball. You remember last season? You remember the season before that?
The mad scientist, me and Fixes, we have had this plotting of trying to steal Ocean's mojo for a while now. It's been happening for 3 seasons, but it feels like finally we have succeeded. We have succeeded in doing that.
Well, you definitely have, mate. I mean, it has been a long way away, but the journey is reaching an end. And on the other front, talking about MVPs, we've got Mafia Ninja chiming in along with 4 assists, 6 kills, and only 46 healing. How?
What? I mean, talk about journeys, right? This team had an incredible one in this game, just destroying everyone in those final fights. And our casters also wonderfully pointed out how they made it all happen in that final situation with Zeus Esports, I8, and DRS. They lost 1 lad to the final surviving player off Future Station, but no worries. We have a plan, boys. Let the other 2 teams fight, and when their numbers are low, we're just going to step up, finish them off, and take the chicken dinner.
That's true, that's true. And coming up, it's not just Marvin Ninja whose impact was there. AJ's impact, like this 4 kills, 522 damage. That's brilliant. I mean, he was, taking fights from the sidelines as well as his teammates. Gyalton was there surviving as well. Well, talking about top players, I mean, Joel's there. We know what's used it right from the beginning. Clash Baba from FS just, surviving till the end, taking one of the others down. That was AJ, if I remember correctly. And then Steel Shot from Venom Legends.
Yeah.
Exactly. Venom Legends are also looking pretty neat when it comes down to this start, or rather their start, to the first ever Super Weekend that they're going to be participating in. And on the other front, as we move on to the head-to-head, it is UC Sports going up against the Real Soldiers. And look at that incredible, wonderful turn of events for the Real Soldiers. Only 694 damage received.
Exactly, as a 4-man unit. And I mean, the reason for the average survival times is just going to be the fact that DRS, they lost a few players quite earlier on before that final action. And for UC Sports, I loved how they started this game. I mean, that third party on the fight that was happening between Bubble Clarity and Raw, and Zeus just chimes in, picks up a few points, and they're like, all right, our job is done. Time to move on to the end game.
Yeah, well, that just happened. But if you talk about the way the match just went down, Mafia Ninja, are you kidding me? If most headshots, most utilities use highest damage, highest skills. Wow. Save something for someone else, man. I get it. You get $1,000 as well. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, DRS, here's the thing, right? DRS, they had to make this happen. There had to be a performance like this because, well, DRS, they had a pretty slow Super Week 1. So this is basically a message that, hey guys, nothing happened. That was just a downtime, but we are back. The soldiers are back to the war.
Yeah, I'm happy for one of my predictions. That was, Venom Legends will start in top 8. Well, they are there in top 8. That's really good because Venom Legends, you saw them, right? As compared to if you talk about the other teams that are just, marking up their first Super Weekend, this team was playing quite boldly. I mean, they were coming up in fights. They were making their impact. And that was the thing that I loved from Venom Legends, to be honest, at this moment. That was really good. And if we talk about a team that just loves to get those placement points for themselves when it comes down to Wrangle in the map chance, Future Station is still there.
Yeah, do we need to talk about them? Because if it's a Wrangle, I feel like it's a default, right? That Future Station will have good placement points. It's like something... just like the sun rising from the east and setting in the west, that is Future Station basically doing good in a Wrangle. They will do good in this map.
But on the other front, talking about teams that were moving in for their first ever Super Weekend, R3D sadly were not looking good when it comes down to this game. But hopefully, of course, when we do still have 4 more games remaining, we shall be anticipating that team to bring in better numbers for themselves in terms of the points, in terms of the kills, in terms of the placement points themselves. With that, Ocean, it is time for you to take us through the rotations coming in from these teams, and the zone analysis is entirely up to you, mate.
I mean, the way the circle was, right? You saw everyone just, trying to move for themselves, and this did look pretty good. If we just, keep the circle here, and if we just, look forward to it, we'll just see how the movement was happening as everyone was just trying to move forward. Now we move forward to the upcoming circles and all those things, and that's where, we'll see how the players were trying. Look at this. First circle goes up. Let's just pause it here. And this is where, if the zone had to move forward, this distance, I mean, this did not happen. The circle did shift down to the military base area, and that's what we will see in, sorry, not the military base, shooting range area. They both have, tunnels out there, but shooting range area. And if we just, keep it here, look at this. I was going to say that, teams from military base, they had really long rotations for themselves that, coming down from the southern side. But after that, getting inside the circle was such a big task. I mean, they had the openness, but they could not play around. Meanwhile, Zeus, they took a really good fight, and then they were left kind of onto the back lines of the circle, but well, still, they were just not trying to actually have a really, really good momentum for themselves. Slowly and steadily, though, on the back lines of the circle. But now, this is where the troubles started up for the teams. DRS, they had a really good area for themselves around the shooting range area. I mean, that's where they stayed for the most of the circle, for the most of the game, to be honest, and they accumulated a lot of kills. But they obviously, did not anticipate Future Station's last player there. That was one mistake that happened. No doubt, though, they got a chicken there. But look at Clutch Baba. He was still surviving. From here, this one lad, from here, he moves to the back lines, takes down one player of DRS as well. DRS was just around this corner, just taking up a fight from I8 and from Zeus. You saw that happening as well. So it's really, really good thing the way these teams were taking up their fights. And to be honest, everyone enjoyed it. This is still where the cluster was, but this is where game just changed. I8, they had the man advantage, so they just pushed into the circle. But Now let's have a look at this situation where DRS is. AJ was finished on by Clutch Baba at this area. Mafia Ninja, he did come out. Zeus, being aggressive, being angry when it comes down to the final moments with their aggression, they started shooting up. They just wanted an opportunity. And if you remember, Godless did climb up just a bit here, and he saw one play. He tried to shoot, but this is where they get shot from two directions. One is Mafia Ninjas, the other one is Uzum's. If Uzum stands up, he has this entire area to look around and to take up a fight, and that's exactly what started happening. I mean, Zeus had number advantage. It was a 3v2v2. He had that number advantage, but they just could not capitalize because first things, they were outside the circle. They had to move in. Had they started moving in, they were making a lot of noise, and that noise just took up the game from them. I8, in fact, they could have won this match.
Yeah.
The thing was, they had an upper area. They had a really good area. But when it came down to those defensive strats, things kind of escalated badly in their favor. Well, not exactly badly. They were still in top 3.
Exactly. It certainly was looking pretty good for the side of I8. On the other front, I've been talking about those flank angles coming in from the side of the Real Soldiers. They were looking pretty good for them, and that is exactly what brought down I8 on that front. On the other side, let's combine all of these wonderful moments. I mean, right off the bat, we saw Clarity take up an interesting fight against Raw. So let's bring up the Oppo F19 for moments.
That is exactly what we're going to start off with Bablu Clarity first. I mean, losing out on a few of the individuals. Then they try to retaliate, and they, in fact, do some damage to the players of Raw. At one point, I felt like, all right, Bablu, they might just be able to come out on top in this situation, but then out of nowhere, and I mean absolutely out of nowhere, Zeus Esports, they had no right of picking up a few kills, but they end up just punishing Bablu for a little bit of aggression in that situation. I believe they were just punishing them for picking up kills. They're like, no, those points are ours.
This one, but this one was classic. But I still remember it was PMGC day 3 and classic Zeus. It was PMGC day 3. The way the players were moving, I guess it was against BTR. They were trying to find out the last player, just taking him down. Like it was the same strat as the players were, making up. They wanted to make up their mark. And this one, oh my god, this was such a bold move. Icy moving away from his team to take up that one fight, one individual. He knows the importance of even that 1 point that it can create, and he was like, hey, I'm up ahead. There's no turning back. I'll have to take this fight.
Also, I've noticed Jiggle do that quite a lot. Not just him, his this squad of wives. They're making movie clips, right? At this point, just driving right behind their opponents with those buggies, getting out and just gunning them down. But it's not always going to work out. I have to check how many players are going to be there, and this time he was caught off guard, but Vibes, they did manage to have a pretty decent game for themselves. But talking about the match, it was all about DRS and Zeus most of the time, how these teams were able to dominate against the competition. I8 came in a little bit later when we saw them sort of try and get inside the circle from the southeastern side towards the shooting range area, pushing forward, and that is where we faced the maximum resistance as well. But I8, they were able to survive all the commotion that was going on, and they were also able to have a really nice game. And then this happens.
I mean, Clutch Baba, he still survives to just take his team to a really good position. Well, he did switch up a weapon, but he could not locate the opponent. The thing is, obviously, it was 2 players. That was from DRS, right? They had spotted him. They had spotted his movement. They obviously knew where he was, and that's why he was taken down, though.
Hey, with that, the Real Soldiers have walked away with $1,000 indeed to start the day off on our second Super Weekend. Moving on fourth to the damage graph, it has been definitely, talk about the top 10 teams. They definitely have had a decent fight and a decent outing for themselves. On the other front, 7C, Seal, not looking good for now.
The thing is, this circle actually made these top 6 teams, to be honest, play really confidently, really openly. Everyone has more than 1,000 damage for themselves. That's really good. This is the impact that I would say we want in every match, because in this kind of an impact, you're not sure if you'll get a chicken dinner at the end or not, even if you have all the players surviving, because whenever you just peek or do something, you will be shot at.
I mean, I have to just add one thing to that. I mean, we have to appreciate the fact that I8 is the only team that did not start, who were the furthest away from the circle and still made it into a really nice position by the end of the match. That rotation and also the pressure that they had to deal with trying to push in forward towards the end game scenarios, it was incredible. But this team, we know them. If there's going to be a fight, they are going to jump headfirst.
Absolutely, but I8, they still do not have that chicken dinner. They still are waiting for that chicken dinner, the $1,000. On the other front, the Real Soldiers game certainly worked out in their favor. They've pushed up 4 positions from this chicken dinner.
Yeah. But look at Zeus Esports closing in on T2K.
yes.
It looks like the first position might be snatched away after this match.
Well.
Well-
Ocean, on the other front, dude, talking about the teams that are playing this for the first time this Super Weekend,
Yeah.
look at their points right there. I mean, Venom Legends, yes, they had a decent outing from that one game. They walk away with 5 kills, you know. So, overall, if you were to predict, where do you anticipate Venom Legends to actually rise up to? Will they?
So this is the thing, right? On one game, I would say right now, obviously they have 9 points, so that means they would want to get more and more. But it obviously just comes down to how they play the other matches as well. So
Indeed. With that, now we're going to be moving on to the schedule as we are going to be jumping into the maps of Miramar. Varun, what are
Yeah.
your anticipations from this second match?
I mean, this time I'm going to join the bandwagon of Ocean, Blair, and the Mad Scientist experiment and say Zeus Esports, because that first match, their performance was incredible. Did get a little too overconfident in that final fight, because that is what I'm going to call that push, because you have to clear out, as Ocean mentioned, they knew that flank was there from DRS, I8 on a wide angle as well. It wasn't going to be easy, but Zeus or Stalwart, one of these two teams.
Indeed, I'll go with the latter,
Ah.
Stalwart. Definitely, I want to be able to see this team because the way they played the league play days, Ocean, they were looking supreme. But when it comes to the Super Weekend, we do know that these teams bring
Yeah.
in a different sort of a devilish approach to every single game they participate in.
yeah, actually, just like there's one 007, there can be only one mad scientist. That's all that I
Yep.
want to say. But well,
Your
words, not
mojo
mine.
is gone, buddy. we have it now. I predicted the chicken dinner in this match. Experiment has been able to break down the fights quite nicely, so it's basically Superman without any powers, and we have it all.
Well.
I just have,
It
then I
is-
just have one thing to say, and that is, मैं क्या करूं? Job छोड़ दूं?
No, of
If
course
we just
not,
talk about
Ocean,
it,
but
yeah.
we will. We are now going to be jumping into the second game, and to get things started off, as Varun was just mentioning, we are going to move on and push through to our casters, who once again are going to be none other than XP, the mad scientist, and Blake.
You call you a mad scientist, XP. I haven't seen you do any sciencey stuff, though, so I don't know where that name came from.
I kind of keep it on the lowdown because I don't really need to, showcase to let people know exactly how cray I am. But it does kind of seem like if Ocean is Superman, looks like one of us must be Kryptonite because that boy's going down. But anyway, all jokes aside, I love the fact that we have this team to work around with to just throw shade off one another. I love that.
It's
we have
not
this
shade,
war
we're just
between the
having-
casters.
It's just
Hey,
some
man,
good banter, man, and there's
call
nothing
it
wrong
what
with good
you
banter.
want. Call it what you want. I mean, of course, I'm just messing around. I mean, we're not really throwing shade, guys. There's
You
no
never
beef
know.
between us. Don't worry.
You never know. You could have some post being put up by someone watching, like, oh, casters and analysts fighting each other. Oh my God, what's going on? So toxic. You never know.
But then we
We're
need
gonna
that
be
drama.
we're gonna be jumping into the game very quickly, though. XP. We had a great showing there, coming out from the usual suspects. DRS having getting the chicken dinner. I8 as well, able to stay alive. I think Johnny pointed out they started as usual on the military island, but despite the circle, they were able to get a top 3 placing. So that's pretty impressive stuff from the Pakistani side.
Oh yeah, I mean, man, as far as distance traversed is concerned, this team is definitely going to be right at the tippity top because we've seen, especially in Erangel, the circle has been to the north and they come all the way from down south. But again, it is going to be game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. This time around, we are going to change things up. In fact, we're going to be heading to the deserts of Miramar, so you better grab all your drinks, be hydrated. It's going to be a hot one out there. And well, the plane is in the sky, but I wonder where our captain is taking us.
Well, it looks like it's going to be right on top of the Oasis. We know DRS do like
Jump!
jumping out very early in that Oasis area towards La Cobreria. It's going to be passing across Crater Fields, Monte Nuevo, La Triera, Chumacera, and then, of course, ending all the way at Minas del Sur, or Minas del Sur, as some
Minas
certain
del-
Americans would call it, and heading all the way to prison.
What's Los Leones? Detroit.
Los Leones, though, like, listen, I won't lie, I don't enjoy Los Leones circles because everyone just goes there, right? And it just becomes a messy. I'm not saying every game ending on Los Leones is not fun, but I really do enjoy the final circles where you have a little bit more of some mountains, maybe some craters, maybe some mesas coming into play. So I do enjoy those a little bit more than just non-stop urban warfare. Considering how big the map is, and considering how many, how few compounds there are compared to open space. It is interesting how a lot of the final circles tend to happen around more of like an urban warfare area.
I'm totally random point just popped in my head. I was playing PUBG last night, in fact, and I did something you do play. I jumped to the island just offshore Impala, and I had opposition over there. Looks like we're not the only ones who have that mindset. A lot of people love doing that. But right now, the circle is going to be to the north again. We are going to have, it's going to be pretty much landlocked if you have a look at it. And it is slightly different from what we've seen in the past because normally, like you did mention, we've seen circles finishing around Los Leones or Minas Generalis, El Azahar towards the east. Now, this time it's going to be exciting. And we did kind of mention the Oasis at the beginning. Wouldn't it be fine if all the action actually ends there?
It would be. It would be great. It'd be fantastic. But let's see how it's going to be playing out here. Oh no, XP. It looks like it's going to be a map rehost. Looks like a couple of players timed out or weren't able to connect properly. So I was happy there for a moment, man. Like I was like, yes, no Los Leones in the final circle guaranteed. And,
it's going to happen in the next game.
And now it's going to happen. Yeah, 100%. Like when we have the rehost, when the players are back in, 100% we're going to be having Los Leones in a circle. Like, why does this have to happen to me?
What are you guys watching think? Do you think it's going to be a complete U-turn this time? Because this time we have the circle up north. I guess the next game is going to be down south. Again, I love the fact that, PMPL and PubG Mobile, we're trying to make sure that it's a level playing field for everyone who's joining in. Now, of course, you got to keep one thing in mind. Remember, there was a time when punctuality was an issue. That is gone now. Everyone shows up on time for a major tournament, right? But you got to make sure everyone's connected. You got to make sure all your comms are working because sometimes, you get in the game, but the voice kind of lags out. Oh, you need to be able to talk to your people to let you know, whatever's happening. But again, while everyone does reconnect and once the game is going to be up and running again, we shall be back. Till then, why don't you guys, like we did mention, keep hydrated, grab some drinks, and we'll see you after this little break.
नमस्ते मेरो नाम सुमन थापा हो म 7C को लागि खेल्छु मेरो इनियम नेम 7C मिस्टर थापा रहेको छ र म 7C को स्काउटर हो हामी PMPL खेल्दैछौँ PMPL यसपालि एकदमै टफ हुनेवाला छ र सबै टिमहरूले ग्राइन्ड हार्ड गरेका छन् हामीले गरिरहेका छौँ हाम्रो गोल भनेकै PMGC हो त्यसैको लागि हाम्रो सपोर्टको खाँचो छ तपाईहरु माया ममता देखाइदिनुहोस् सपोर्ट गरिदिनुहोस् यो सबै कुरा लाइभ PubG Mobile अफिसियल च्यानलमा हुनेछ थ्यांक यू
Well, we're not going to be wasting any time. We're back. We're back in Miramar. No more disconnections. Everyone is raring to go. In fact, XP, the plane's even taken off. So, you know what? This time around, tell me what we're going to be seeing.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this time we are going to be changing things around a little bit. We are going to be flying from west to east. Of course, we are going to be going over El Pozo, Hacienda del Patron, the house of the boss is going to be flown over as well. And the plane path is going to end at El Azahar. Now, it is going to be different from the last game. But again, the question is going to be, where is that dreaded circle going to form? Because let's see if our anticipation is going to be right. I'm predicting it's going to be a southern circle. Let's see if the game has a curveball of its own and it goes somewhere to the east. Anyway, the draw stick, the better. But now, all teams are going to be jumping off, and it does look like Bablu are going to be heading down towards Valle del Mar, possibly just to get a bit of loot. Of course, that island, the prison island itself, is going to be theirs for the taking. Now, the circle is going to be pretty much central this time, a little similar to what we saw in the last game. So I guess pretty much all the teams are going to be right in the zone from the get-go, barring just 3 teams. And those 3 teams are going to be Venom Legends, who are going to be facing off against 7 Seas sooner or later. But looks like Crypto has other ideas. He does hear a vehicle go by. Mind you, he does have that red dot on that. Mini 14 gets a few shots. Are you kidding me? Knocks the driver out. Killer going down. That was just perfection. Oh my goodness, Crypto take a bow, play a first knock coming in with deadly precision, and now he is being a bit brave in going in for the kill because looks like their teammates are going to be revolving around them. I do have a look at Zake coming in. Baron could be at an angle, but now he's still not done. He goes again, and he knocks him down one more time. Crypto is on fire.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's not alone now, XP. He's not alone now. He's got teammates arriving as well. Look at them. Everyone in the party van,
Wow.
or you can call it the death van, because Seal, they need to make a bit of haste. Did they go for the res? If they go for it, it's going to be risky. And instead, they opt to go for a little bit of early loot. What are they doing? What is this? And they walk straight into the M249 in the hands of Zeg. Shotgun out. Second knock comes in. He's looking for the finish as well. There's a player nearby. And he is in turn going to be knocked on down by Blade. And Blade going for the punches to finish things off. Where are his teammates? Okay,
Well,
they're going for a
Crypto-
res. They're going for a res, and Crypto's doing a great job keeping Wally at bay. What did we just witness, XP? What was that?
Now, what happened was Wally's position was known to I8 at that moment, and they kind of anticipated Seal to be a bit further back than the compound. They just pretty much met their doom match. You did kind of mention that it's going to be the death one. Looks like it could have been the other way around because they would have been in trouble. But looks like Zake. Well, we did kind of see him go down. Wally, the last remaining member from Zeus, from Seal, I beg your pardon. Let me just break this down for you. So what happened was they kind of anticipated that they were a bit further back where Wally was at. They did not even imagine that someone is going to be pretty much point blank the moment they alighted from their vehicles. And boy, Blade, that could have gone horribly long. Have a look at this replay. 4 bullets put in. He gets the first knock, doesn't give up, goes in for the action again. Boom, 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 boom.
Calm
Down
shots.
goes Killer again. Now, I was like, wait a second, that red dot could be a little bit drastic. Have a look at this transition. The M249 is down. Boom goes the shotgun in your face. Ozim almost getting knocked out, but it's Zake who's going to be at the receiving end of things. Again, I8 really close to being wiped out, but they managed to scrape through.
That final duel there, listen, it was a 1 versus 3. Sorry, it was a 1v1 there, right? And he had a shotgun, and it was against the SMG. At that range, sure, the SMG usually comes out on top, but he needed to land 1 shot at that range. That would have been 3 people down. And that would have been suddenly things being turned and Crypto being left alone in a 1 versus 3. So that got very, very hairy indeed for the side of I8, but I love this. I love this early aggression and early fights breaking out in the second Super Weekend XP. If this is a sign of things to come, I'm going to be happy, man. Wally does stay alive for his team, and for the time being after that hectic start, we will, start to slow things down a little bit more. The team's not really being anywhere in the vicinity of each other, at least for the time being. And can probably talk a little bit about the overall rankings as it stands with the points accrued over the Super Weekend XP. Now, we do obviously see Paradox there at the bottom. We have High Voltage and Seal 9 as well, but they're not playing the Super Weekend.
Ouch.
And now, this is where things get interesting, though, XP. Like, the teams who have qualified for the second Super Weekend, you're talking about, who is it? 7 Seas. We have, who else? So why is my brain failing? We have Venom Legends. obviously, and
I mean, I could help
R3D.
you, but I just want to make sure that you
And
get that
R3D.
motor
There we go.
running.
I got it. All these three teams. The problem
Yes,
they
sir.
have is, sure, you have 3 days to play, but one thing we did point out last weekend was, if you look at the point distribution between the top teams and the bottom teams, it isn't that massive. Usually, when we see the first Super Weekend played, or after a week of league play in the previous pro leagues, the top team is usually far ahead of everyone else, the top 3, top 4 teams. And if you go down the list, you go to 14th, 15th, and 16th place, they're on like 20 points, 30 points maybe. So it's very easy for the teams qualifying for the second Super Weekend to jump over them. But if you look at this, 15th position is 91 points.
Oh yeah. Also,
That's quite a number of points, man.
just to add to this thing that you're saying now, let's just take Zeus for example, right? They're in the second position, 164 points. The first Super Weekend midway, you and I were scratching our heads thinking, wait a second, is this the same Zeus we saw last season? Because, they were nowhere on the leaderboard, but then again, they made the best for the last few games and got the job done. Now, we did kind of see a massive point disparity, like you did mention last season. It did kind of start off that way this time as well. T2K, if you remember, did have a considerable lead, but then the other teams caught on, especially Vibe, Stalwart Esports. When they started opening up, boy, did T2K get sweaty. But again, like you said, one game can make it. Now, for teams like Paradox, it's going to be a bit tricky because, they're not playing the Super Weekend, and they're going to be hoping that the teams below them don't overtake them, but that is going to be inevitable at some point. But coming back to the action, boy, I love the fact that Miramar has started off on this high level of energy. It is something that, just, makes me feel better. But as I have a look at the circle, again, everyone is pretty much nearby one another, as Abely has spotted Joker in the distance. Now, looks like they want to continue their fight from the last game and go up against one another, but Joker just kind of slammed that vehicle on its side. Lucky for him, it does roll over. But what is not lucky is that Icy is going to be standing up front, laying down some shots. Good decision on his part to kind of come back towards cover. Mind you, he could be anticipating someone looking at him from elsewhere. But now he does know Joker is below him. That is actually a good grenade. If he does get that one little bounce and it goes down, Joker could be in trouble. In fact, he almost was blown off his feet, but he got in the car in the nick of time.
Still kind of low. Still kind of alone. He does have his teammates a bit of distance away. They could provide a little bit of covering fire towards Icy, but they're so far away that Icy doesn't really have to necessarily face, right? So Joker right now, he's kind of pinned down, right? Like, he's got the vehicle, sure, but it's such a big moving target that doesn't matter if his teammates provide covering fire. A full magazine from either of these the players from Zeus could take him down. Instead, he opts to try and go uphill and take a fight. The vehicle's smoking as well, XP. So Joker, he's got no meds. He's got that adrenaline still, the shot still pumping through his body, so that could maybe potentially help him out a little bit. But yeah, it really felt like his days were numbered, honestly, XP. That's just an uncomfortable spot for him to be in. And once all the remaining members of Zeus arrived to the party, it just felt like a done deal.
It did indeed, and it looks like Godless is kind of taking a fight that he shouldn't really be in. Now, his vehicle is going to be blowing up sooner or later. He's trying to take cover behind that vehicle, trying to get the job done. And in fact, as my feed is a little bit stuck up, Blade, would you mind taking over for just a second?
Yeah, sure. Well, while
make sure
we wait for XP to just reconnect, hopefully his feed should be fine very quickly. We can take a gander at the map. It is going to be I-8 still inside of Los Leones. Well, that was quick. Seal is slowly making their way in through Chumacero as well. Future Station and A1 going to be a bit ahead of I-8 and Venom Legends, the 5th team that is not in the zone. When I say team, Wally is basically a one-man squad at this point in time. He is all by his lonesome. Very capable player, but considering how most of these teams have all 4 alive, or at the very least 3 alive, I do have to say his chances look very, very slim at the moment. But yeah, as you pointed out, XP, you did let out a bit of a gasp. That zone is heavily populated. We got San Martin, we got Hacienda del Patron, we got water treatment, crater fields, and a power grid inside of the zone. Now, which way it's going to go, we don't know yet, as we have a bit of a replay, and that is... boom! You love to see it.
Malik was absolutely not expecting that. In fact, he didn't even know where the bullet came from. All he knew was something hit him and everything went dark. And then his teammates picked him up. But right now, top A, top 2A with that Mini 14 and the extended mag, trying to put down some cover fire on Sandesh, who seems to be all by his lonesome with his teammates kind of scattered rather in different directions. And if I quickly have a look at my map, everyone make their way in the circle, and you did bring up Wall E from Seal. Now, Play, if he pulls off a clutch Baba from last game, he can at least get his team a few placement points. But again, it could be easier, you know, slipping in unnoticed in the Wrangle as compared to Miramar because of all the foliage. So yeah, he's going to have to tread carefully.
Oh, yeah. And look at the way he's coming in as well. He's going to be coming in at the foot of that bit of a, well, not really a mountain, but more like an elevated plateau, right? So it's going to be super easy to spot him out. And yeah, I do have to say, I have to agree with you. It's not going to be easy at all compared to, as opposed to, let's say, an Wrangle or a Sandhawk, where he could try and just disappear amongst the foliage. Oh, I like Mafia Ninja's position here. He's way up high XP. I love final circles on a mountain like this, on a mesa, on peaks like this, because it just creates some interesting angles and interesting fights where sometimes teams are forced to think outside of the box, right? Use a utility, try and go for aggressive plays. You know, blah, blah, blah. He's parking his vehicle in a way where he seems to be unaware that there is a bird of prey right above him. He seems to be completely oblivious to that fact, and that could potentially bite him in the butt.
Yeah, but you know what I like about being on top of the mountain is sometimes you kind of get focused on one target and you kind of have like blinders on, right? Your vision is kind of constricted and you sometimes are completely oblivious to the fact that someone else can see you. Again, it's the whole silhouette on a mountain argument that I'm going to be bringing up. But yeah, you're right. Blah, blah, blah. It's oblivious that bird of prey is above him and the fangs have been unsheathed and those claws are going to dig in and blah, blah, blah. Is going to find is making a Mafia Ninja is going to get that one kill to his name as the zone is going to close in. And well, the members from Raw are going to be a little flabbergasted because they weren't really expecting that. Maybe he should have checked a little bit better. But again, you can't really blame him. Like you said, the fact that Mafia Ninja was high up on that peak, it was not going to be easy. Now, the circle is going to be shifting a bit towards the east as usual.
Oh,
yeah. Plan Hacienda is going to be in the play, and Sinister is just going to drive on through the enemy, finally alighting from his vehicle, getting shot by Praveen, but making it to safety.
Well, he dodged a few bullets there, did Sinister, but right now, Bublu is going to be doing a lot of dodging as well. Vibes from the distance, it's going to be Praveen. An assassin rattling off a few shots from the Scar. Now, they know where Sinister is, but they also know it was just a one player. And I like this. They're not getting tunnel vision next speed. They know somewhere nearby his teammates are lying in wait to try and bail him out of that situation. Right? Yeah. And you saw A1 just waiting. They're like, all right. Are walking into the trap. We're using a teammate as bait. But this is turning out to be a four-way fight. Vibes, Stalwart Esports. I also saw I8 in the distance. Oh, they're a little bit further away. But yeah, we have Vibes, Stalwart Esports, A1 Esports, and this is definitely getting interesting. We did see Bublu drive off into the distance, so I guess they have opted to relinquish control or attempted control of this part of the map. But an interesting standoff. And considering they're all in the zone, I'm assuming it's going to be a bit of a quiet time, at least to start things off. But eventually, it's going to get hectic as yet another team joins the fray. I8 have arrived at the party.
I like that new little graphic that I just saw, airdrop taken, just letting us know that, you know, some boys are going to be roaming around with the big bad guns, and it is going to be Zeus Esports who have a few tricks up their sleeve. But right now, we are going to have that stalemate across the road as Vibes are going to be facing up against A1 Esports, who just moments earlier were sneaking in on their prey like predators close to the ground, making sure they move nice and stealthily. Now, it is going to be a three-way battle breaking out, and San Martin, of course, it's going to be I8 going up against Vibes with A1 Esports pretty much in the center. And in the distance, if you have a look, Stalwart Esports are going to be hearing the commotion as well, but they are going to have to decide whether they want to let go of that giant warehouse for a few kills. Now, I like the way they spread out. They have control of that side of the city. And again, this is something you do expect in Miramar, right? You have tremendous amounts of open space and you have a lot of buildings. So, of course, a lot of cover for all these teams. Now, the next circle, once it forces them out in a particular direction, that is when we are actually going to see the thick and thin of the action, my friend. All
right now, though, it's a bit of some Mongolian brothers battling it out. Zio, a couple of warning shots, but he's not going to continue taking that fight, considering that they are outside of the zone, so he's going to be finding his way to safety. Meanwhile, oh man, that zone shift. This is where things are going to get quite hairy. XP, Apex getting spotted up, but look at the zone. Look at that zone. All these 4 teams are now going to go for a mad dash, joined by T2K and Zeus, and they might be just running into Wizards with Vibes and Deadeyes, guys. This is where chaos is going to break out, and it has already indeed. Bullets being exchanged. The question is, who's going to stick around and fight? Because IAD are having none of it, XP. They're just yeeting the hell out of there, and they're like, goodbye, sayonara, I'll catch you later. But Stalwart Esports have found a couple of members of Bubblue, and they're looking for more as their crosshairs are trained in the direction of Vibes.
Well, you did. It's going to be chaotic. It looks like someone just let slip the dogs of war, and everything is going to be open game, as now we are going to be still in the action as Stalwart Esports Vibes. And, well, A1 Esports have kind of moved off on the side. They still have options to, you know, kind of get away from the situation and make it to the next circle. But Clarity are coming into play as well. And talking about Clarity, 420 boy does have an idea of Jiggle's position. If only the driver's seat was on the right side, and he would have got him. But right now, it is still just the way we left them.
Well, Reaper bot in the meantime, and Delta X. Oh, Wizards with Vibes. We said Wizards with Vibes would be a problem for these teams, XP, and it looks like I8 have found themselves in a bit of a pickle. 2 members taken out. They did go for the early rotation, right? They immediately made their way towards a safe zone, but they got taken out very early. 2 members still there, though, so they're not quite out of it yet. Stalwart, they're going to be lingering around. Oh, Uzum's been dropped as well. XP, I8 are getting picked apart by, well, it looks like 2 teams right now, because T2K have Crypto pinned down. Crypto inside of the warehouse, the last one surviving for the side of I8. It's gone very wrong for them. Zeus are gonna blow up Bubblue. That's gonna be a Fury death for the side of Bubblue, it looks like. And yeah, they will be knocked out as well. 0 kills to their name. Kind of a rough start there for the side of Bubblue. So the early rotators are struggling, are suffering. But look at Stalwart, though. They take the fight to Zeus. They got a couple of knocks. Pika tried to find a great angle. This is a good position for him, while his remaining his teammates can start running up from the left-hand side. He's going to be tossing in a little few nades. IC will be spotted out, taken down, but it's actually going to be Vibes stealing away the kills, and now starting to harass Stalwart Esports, third-partying their way in, not going for the early rotation, and they're getting rewarded for it. The Stalwart, the Hunters, have become the hunted, and it is Vibes right now, the Apex Predator in the server. Well, this is starting to look very, very worrisome for a lot of these teams who are going for that mad dash. At least for the side of Stalwart, the res will be coming in, and they are right next to the zone, so they're kind of comfortable. A1 Esports were very slow to rotate, and they will be finally basically getting gate kept by their opponents over there. But heading back to Vibes, they were looking very good, but Apex Predators were falling by the wayside. All that nade's gonna find Assassin. Has to find Assassin. No, a little too deep. Assassin's gonna stay alive for a while, but he might get caught up with the nade in his hands. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Zelda X is gonna take him down. Praveen on his knees as well. And Vibes, they were looking fantastic. XP getting a couple of kills there, able to kind of ruin the day of Stalwart Esports. What a nade killer. So very fortunate to stay alive, but Jiggle is not fortunate at all. Killer just dodging those nades, playing a game of dodgeball, and eventually he will fall. Vibes, well, they just get completely alt F4'd out of the server, and that is an ignominious end for them. Wizards with Vibes holding their ground and getting 6 kills to their name.
Well, it kind of looks like the team that's riding as well. Right, blue sport for the Wizards, who are going to be getting the job done, as Dante is going to be put in the ground as well, making
A1's
sure
to
they
out.
have 2 quick team knocks in a fraction of seconds. A1 is out. Smokey V2 is going to fall down to his potential knock. Question is that going to be converted to a finish? Yes, it is, because entry from Future Station did spot that little commotion and is going to put some lead right in between his head. Now, Jane is going to be taking the fight to I8 elsewhere. We are going to be still holding on between a stalemate between Venom Legends and I do believe that was Dead Eyes guys now elsewhere. We are going to have multiple fights on multiple fronts. A steel shot from distance. Spots
Lovely.
out Fair, takes him down as Ale is going to make some drastic measures trying to pick up his teammates. But boy, oh boy, action is breaking out. And, you know, I just kind of was thinking about something which I want to bring up. You said that, you know, the teams that are rotating early are getting caught off guard. That is what Miramar is like. It's kind of different in this map as compared to others because, you know, when you move first, you are a potential moving target for everyone inside. And you want to try and sneak your way in through the blue at the later stages of the zone. But again, you know, there are many ways to get the job done.
Oh, no.
Draw, taking the fight to T2K. So, yo, coming in the heavy fire.
Wizards advice, man, they're on a bit of a warpath. They're carving a path of
They're
blood
wiping.
through all this dry desert land. And, well, T2K losing a memo. This battle is crucial for both the sides. T2K, they have 6 kills XP. They've had a pretty good game so far as well, and that's a good reply coming from Sandesh. Does he confirm the kill? He doesn't, but it's going to be Jane is going to get another knock. So Wizzies with vibes. Now they're struggling. Now they're starting to fall. And that is going to be such a quick finish from T2K. What a resurgence, XP. They lost to one member and just like an angry lion, they just swipe at Wizzies with vibes and they will be eliminated. They do get 9 points. So still a very good showing, but that's a statement from T2K.
Oh yeah, I mean their positioning was just sublime, to be honest with you, and the fact that Wizards with Wives were forced to
How
come
is
towards
Apex
them
alive?
because of the blue zone, that was problematic. And the moment you say how is Apex alive, well, a grenade is going to fall on his noggin, and he is going to be going out. And of course, a lot of fans are going to be a little angry with Uplay, but right now, ably in the distance is going to be caught out in the blue to get to his teammates on his bloody knees. But of course, it's not going to be the case, as Void is going to send him to a void of his own. Now, Zeol is the last man standing for Zeus Esports, and well, their hopes are getting dashed with every passing minute. Now, as we have it up the circle, we do have 8 teams alive and 23 people still vying to be crowned Kings of Miramar.
The problem right now for the side of Venom Legends and Deadeye's guys, they still have this compound, right? It's still kind of they seem to have called us a ceasefire for the time being.
But they're going to have to move out.
Exactly. So do T2K. They all have to move out, and then it's going to be DRS or Future Station who might have the advantage because they're much closer to the circle. They have those hay bales to work with as well. But here we go. They know they need to take a fight, and the fight will be taken. It is going to be actually 7C from afar getting a knock, but this is a messy fight. Deadeye's guys, they have the opportunity to make this happen here, but Void is a one-man standing. He is going to be knocked down, and one member of the Venom Legends, I can't even see where he is on the map. He doesn't seem to be anywhere nearby. Nightwing's going to crawl out. Void's going to crawl out. And Frag has to go for the res. 3 of his teammates are down on the ground. So he's going to be going for the res. And Nightwing, well, they're just crawling out to their deaths. They're getting shot at from afar. Getting picked off. Free kills for a lot of members. In the meantime, Future Station, unaware the fact that DRS in the vicinity, and they're going to make a move for it next week. They're going to be pushing in, despite the fact that DRS are very nearby. They're going to have to keep a couple of members, that's Magnet and Clutch Baba, to hold the fort, while the other 2 members push in to the safe zone.
Oh, they're going to have to take this fight, and it is going to have to be decided right about now because DRS have definitely given their position away, while Galzen is still trying to get kills in the distance. Of course, more the merrier, but he has to be careful not to give his position away because Future Station are going to be willing to pounce. Now, we were kind of talking about Venom Legends early on. Steel Shot going up against C2K. Jane is going to be taking 10 of the action, but he gets taken down courtesy of Frying Pan, and now with that, he is going to be put in the ground as well, which means we're down to 6 teams now. 7C Esports are going to be bidding Osadue. Steel Shot using a first aid. He needs to because the blue is doing tremendous damage. Now Deadeye's guys, Shifu is down once again. Mind you, they were almost wiped out, but they are back with all 4 members still alive, and that could be reduced to 3 because Shifu's time definitely is running out. I like the fact he's already crawling towards the new circle. That is quick thinking on his part. Now, you did mention, on the other hand, we have another fight breaking out. Hold on to your phone because Frypan, I beg your pardon, is not one to back away from the action. He knows he's going up against an immovable mountain. Oh my God, that is going to hurt. That is going to burn. You're going to fucking
From
roll,
the fry
but it's not
pan.
going to be enough. He just got fried in his own pan.
That's kind of like we usually talk about from the frying pan into the fire, but well, the fry pan, it comes on fire. And Deadeye's guys, XP, They somehow got all 3 reses. They were all a 4-man squad. But then they just get wiped out. Now the 4v4. DRS versus Future Station. And DRS... Oh, look at the play. We have one member in the vehicle making his way inside the circle, and our Future Station are getting pinned down. They need to take the fight. They just can't remain turtled up, and that is indeed what they're going to do. A quick reply coming in as a knock will take place. Galton down on his knees. Mafia Ninja pushing in from the side is going to find Magnet. And Future Station, well, Mafia Ninja very low, but he's taking cover, and it's going to be a very quick finish overall. A 4v4, and DRS back-to-back. They make it look so damn easy.
Man, so easy indeed. And, they are literally shutting up all their naysayers right now because guess what, people? There was no water bodies in this map, if you catch my drift. But again, getting the job done in perfection. I mean, back-to-back chicken dinners play. Yes, sir. Make that money rain.
Oh, make it rain, baby. $2,000 already for the real soldiers.
Wow.
But more importantly, the amount of points they've accrued so far. How many kills did I get that game? 10 kills. Okay, not too shabby at all, right? Previous game, they got 12, now 10 kills. So you have 22 kill points plus 30 from placements. Do a quick math. 52 points. That is quite impressive considering they've only played 2 games so far and we still have 3 maps remaining for the day, XP. What a showing from DRS, and this is a very different DRS from what we saw in the first Super Weekend. This is like day 1 DRS, and that makes me very happy.
Wait a second, on day 1, didn't they get back-to-back chicken dinners as well?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a deja vu moment for them. Erangel, Miramar, maybe they might do it in
maybe
the
a
next
hat
game
trick
as well. But
maybe
again,
a hat trick.
It could be a hat trick. We've seen hat tricks in the past. It's not something, it is an amazing feat to achieve, but, once you've done it, it kind of loses a little bit of a luster. But again, what an amazing, amazing outing from the real soldiers, getting the job done in Miramar, which means 2 games are done. Play 3 more are in store for all our lovely viewers. However, it's all going to happen on the other side of this teeny tiny break.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Alright, and we are back. PubG Mobile Pro League South Asia is where you're joining in for the 4th season, the 2nd Super Weekend, and the real soldiers, well, they are definitely letting the lobby know that they are going to be completing the game's end style. $2,000 ka-ching in the bank, looking very fancy indeed, the real soldiers.
Looking very green. $2,000. Right?
Yep.
Well, I mean, they did do that, but the thing is, the way DRS has been playing, they are really good around their rotations. I mean, we will definitely talk about that for sure.
Definitely, but before we do, let's move on and have a look at the top play as well.
Exactly, and I mean, it is going to be incredible to watch the lads of DRS once again, but this time it looks like there's a comeback from not just DRS but Gyalzin, because remember the time when he was sitting on the first position in terms of the kill leaders? Well, it's time for him to claim his throne back. Also, Mafia Ninja back-to-back good performances, because even on Erangel we felt his impact, and on Miramar as well, he puts up the numbers on the board. But Frypan, that was a valiant effort, but you have to be careful.
I mean, that's where, it's kind of, his name became his doom. That kind of but DRS was Future Station. Again, Future Station just, doing really good with the numbers for themselves because they have 13 total points. And you know it, right? 12 just came out of placements. That's what I'm talking about. 1 kill for them. They are really good in just, sliding in onto the places where they should not be, but well, there they are.
Every single time.
Yeah, I think Future Station, they are done with Erangel at this point. They just want to make sure that they have the maximum placement points on every single map. And
I'll tell you, Johnny, So the conversation last time would have been, hey, Marfin Ninja, gonna take all the slots? He's like, no, you get it. So this time it's Galzin and AJ coming up. 2 players this time.
Yeah, but Mafia Ninja has made himself felt again because you see his name in the highest kills as well, sitting with 3 kills. You see him
Yeah.
with longest distance on the second with 290 meters. Then he pops up again in the most headshots this time as well, which is just like 1. But still, just the fact that the lad is there everywhere. I mean, you have to believe like DRS, they are looking really strong this week.
Most certainly. Definitely are. And this is quite a start. I mean, Blay also did mention, I mean, 2
Yeah.
games, you're looking at roughly, what, 52 points? Correct me if I'm wrong, Ocean?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
That's just, the amount that they have been accumulating. And I'm a believer. So
Yeah.
maybe a hat trick. I'm a believer. I'm a believer right now at this moment. But talk about other teams, right? DE, they had a decent game for themselves. T2K as well. T2K for this team, I mean, we know it, right? This team delivers when it comes on to the kill department, and they did that. 12 kills, that's the highest in the server right now. R3D, well, it's a good start right now. Previous game was not yet good, but Venom Legends, 9 from the first game, 13 from this game. It looks like tomorrow, by the end of tomorrow, they would obviously want to surpass Paradox and then create their own legacy on the 3rd day. It looks like it, but Stalwart, not that good of a game. Zeus, kind of decent game, but Bablu, Raw, these teams are kind of silent from the start of the day. Seal Esports as well.
I thought you were going to say Seal Esports because that early fight was it was something. Yeah.
It was chaos. It was just absolute pandemonium that was created from there. But with that, let's also now move on along and have a look at the rotations that were made from these teams. Ocean, take us through the zone analysis, Mike.
This is where I wanted to just showcase you guys everything as we were just talking.
Cover me! Team match, let's go.
First point for the red team!
Nice shot! Kill!
Defend the mark.
Dead! Expired!
Defend the mark.
Reloading! Cover me!
Killing spree for the red team.
Dead! Clear!
Attack the mark.
Reloading!
Defend the mark. Watch out.
No mercy! Cover me! Reloading!
Killing spree for the blue team.
Kill! Clear!
Half of the match is over, and the red team is in the lead.
Kill! Cover me!
Attack the mark. Attack the mark.
Reloading! Cover me! Clear!
The blue team is
Attack
about
the mark.
to win. Attack the mark.
Nice shot! Clear!
Form up on Attack the mark. Defend the mark. Attack the mark.
Red team victory.
Televizyonda maşı. Audio.
Bame gati baru bas prison dulu.
Manen siapa?
Ibas
Siapa ame?
nanti sini kalau
Anjir madu.
bame lipo ka ba?
Lipo kaya.
Jam. Uy,
Ande achi ready bechu ne. Biju dewa.
Attack the mark. Attack the mark. Okay. Attack the mark. Attack the mark. Okay. Watch out. Okay. Watch out.
What gun thop ke phag mare. Nahi mark chapsa.
dan tuh
Oh man. Untuk
ano dan Turnip.
Attack the mark. Enemies ahead.
Ay na mapyo mo ba Porsche.
तो फिर इसी के घर पे कितना दो गंदा में नहीं दे
Gadi tuh.
अब दे
Kanana sih.
चलो ये
Kanana sana.
Watch out.
इसी पे
Ah, okay. Don't be same. Road.
Guys, I miss it.
I was only that. Yeah, I'm dead now. Do it over.
Enemies ahead! Enemies ahead!
Fishing. Road नहीं में road.
Yeah.
Form up on me. Form up on me.
Tirai. Mayale जो शेमिश. दो ही जब कौन. Left side ना तश. अभी दो ही जब कौन.
Watch out! Watch out!
आने दो ही जब कौन.
Attack the mark! Attack the mark!
No, knock B. Do knock B. इसको B का 8x and
No, no.
no. Number 4 is just season so.
Helmet level 1 range.
Marked a location.
कोई से कैसे भी चाहिए थे.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Enemies ahead!
Luckily, go in the Dutchy.
Awesome. Come on. The helmet level 2 range is nice.
I'm to go. You want to book in a
Awesome. They are moving out.
Smoke and run. Throw smoke and run. Buddy. Smoke. Oh, so sad.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
Ah, what a shot. Come on, come on.
यार कहाँ फंसा रही हूँ भाई। जिंदगी यार मुझे गाना नहीं आता यार।
Hello, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Halo. What's up, bro? Halo, halo. Bro, bro. Sabra. Mantap. Sabra. Rusak nih palanya Randy. Lu ngapain tabla? Why you tabla? What is tabla? Why, bra? Why? Why? What is that? Apa media sosial? Lu belum nanya. Belum nanya. Iya. Hongkong kan? Betul. Benar. Wih. Aduh. Gimana lu? Wait. Aduh, lu kena nggak? Habis apa betul? Habis coy. Aku doang sih sementara. Ngarok cuman. Tahu temennya gimana? Yes. Yeah, bro. What's up, bro? Which are you talking? I'm an Indonesian, bro. Where do you come from, bro? Indian. Wah, Indian is good. Kare. Kare, bro, kare. Yo. Good food. Kare. Indian
Defend
kare.
the mark.
Ngomong apa dia? Seblak. Ah, Wakanda. Yes, we are the team. Yeah. Yes, bro. Good friend, bro. Indian is good too. Very friendly. Very friendly people.
तो बैठेगा भाग
I got supplies.
भाग ऐसे मत करना भागना स्ट्रीम कर रहे हैं हम
Lu dapat
I need a mag.
ada skop 4 nih kodenya. Banyak. Rapper zaman sekarang seragam kayak PNS, bosenin macam kelas. P2 SKS. Kamu yang paling gaul, yang paling punya akses. Aku yang dari kampung yang pergi ke Los Angeles. Make me proud. Lipat lebaran ke lebaran. Musuhnya pada di mana nih? Masih sepi warga masih awal. Tablet.
Watch out!
Come on man, tablet. Gokil. Gokil ada. Gokil. Lu pada cabut ya? Aja gue sendal kira sih. Lu lagi di mana, Di?
Rakum, boy.
Oh iya, baru bangun tidur lo ya?
Iya, habis tabla. Where?
Watch out!
The enemy.
Oke. On my way.
Aduh, nggak kelihatan gue. Oh iya, dia ngebom tuh. Mana tuh?
Kasih Max lagi boleh nggak, Di?
Gue belum nemu sih, tapi di sini
Marked
tadi.
a location.
Salah.
Marked a location.
Gue sih belum lihat ya. Anjing mana sih?
Kayaknya harus dari si itu deh. Kagak ada siap-siap. Where's the enemy, bro?
Huh?
On the house, maybe he run away. Run away from this baby. Run away.
Watch out!
Oh iya sih bener.
Oh, di situ ya. Anjir.
Oh. Enggak, kita nahan di sini aja katanya.
Watch out!
Anjir, gue jauh banget lagi. Gue kira di rumah yang ini. Wah, Disokin ini. Wih, di belakang gue ada. On behind me, bro.
Kena satu.
Marked a location.
Behind me, bro. Udah mati, Di.
Watch out!
Teman kita ada satu di sana.
Marked a location.
Aduh, jauh banget.
I need consumables. Watch out! Watch out!
Gue nggak ngeliat sama sekali loh tadi.
Watch out!
Ketutupan gue.
Help! Help!
Tolongin bro.
Help!
Mana sih dia? Aduh, zona bro. Toxic bro zonanya. I'm sorry bro, toxic bro. Ay, shit man. Di depan gue di satu orang di ngepron. Ya situ ngepron dia. Satu kanan lu tuh. Kanan lu ada satu ya.
Botolnya udah gue taruh.
Ya.
Botolnya udah gue taruh, gue bilang.
Aduh. Kan.
Ampun. Thank you.
Apa dah, dagang kill 3 tapi. Satu orang lagi nge-front tuh di depan. One man nge-front apa ya? One man nge-front in front of you. Nice.
Let's play again, brothers. Let's play again.
Play again, Rishi. Masih Rishi. Oh iya. I don't know. I follow you. Mention maybe. Aduh, rame aja. Aduh, ini gua. Rame nih di dua orang.
Gua harus bertembakan.
Habisin dulu dah, gua masuk rokin dulu.
Watch out!
Try again, bro.
Try again. Terlalu rame,
bro.
Too crowded, bro. Shoot, bro.
गजरा रे तेरे काले काले नैना
Aduh, rebutan.
Benar.
I need a weapon.
Apa?
Entah.
I got supplies.
Paling lapar. Bawain dulu boleh nggak, Di?
Bayar.
Hand carry.
Hand carry tadi. Bangsat.
Gaya hand.
Kata gue
Just tip.
beliin 5 orang.
Kali 8 it's the best. Belum ada MK-MK-an dari tadi.
Ini yang bold soalnya. Nggak ada, Nok. Ini kan yang bold.
Oh, beda ya?
Beda kalau bold ya buat khusus yang satu-satu gitu. Cedar.
Yang
Kalau yang
single.
kalau yang all baru Gelina.
Polina. Jauh banget soalnya. Pantes sepi warga.
Get into the zone, brother.
Berangkat.
I'm in my zone.
Go to the safe zone.
Anjay.
Tenang banget di sini.
Top 8 lu.
Udah. Satu lagi boleh. Buset, lapang banget ini. Udah ditungguin di atas gunung lagi gua.
Let's go. Mantap tuh. Hati.
Suara lu tersek di.
Hati-hati udah ada orang aja.
Iya makanya. Belum sih. Buru-buru udah berarti ke atas. Aneh nih kalau di atas.
Head toward
Sebelahnya
this
sawah
point.
salah. Bus. Deh. Sih. Mana nih yang di sawah-sawah nih? Di amat baru deh.
Marked a location.
Ada orang nih. Oh, di depan atas itu. Jadi lagi ngefront, lagi ini gua baca paket.
Waduh.
Aduh. Lagi. Cakep. Nice. Aduh, mati kita.
अमन किधर गया?